Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. A little bit of a lighting issue, but hopefully you guys can manage to deal with less than ideal lighting. I don't know when my lights just quit working for no reason. I don't know why, but it did. So, well, guys, we're going to give everybody a few more minutes to jump on before we really kind of jump into the meat and potatoes of today. But to give you a quick rundown of what we're looking at, I'm going to be talking about UGA today. Going to be talking about the upcoming lineup, some of the other games today, Georgia, Kentucky, what to expect, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Vanderbilt. And I think there's one more game later in the day that I wanted to see. Miami, Florida State, yeah. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to be flipping back and forth between that and the Mississippi State, Texas A&M game. Really interested in that game. That game is being played at College Station today. And I don't know what to think of Texas A&M right now. And I really don't know what to think of Mississippi State right now. Mississippi State is unranked. But, I mean, I think for the most part, they've looked pretty good. They did lose to Tennessee last week, 34 to 41. But, man, that's saying something because Tennessee, as we know, has a heck of an offense. And for those guys to kind of keep up with them was pretty impressive. It took them to overtime. So, I mean, it was really close here. In a way, it reminded me a lot of the Georgia game. So I'm really interested to see how good is Mississippi State. Their quarterback over at Mississippi State, the guy's name is Blake Shapen. He only threw for, what did he throw in that game? I want to say he threw like 62. Yeah, 62%. And I mean, that's not bad against a top ranked team like Tennessee. I know Tennessee's ranked 15th. Don't give me that. Tennessee's a quality team. They just are. And traditionally, Mississippi State has just been a trash can. So to see those guys actually come out and play like that was pretty impressive. What's up, Eric? What's up, 225 Girl? 225 Girl was here right out of the gate. I mean, right out of the rip, she was here. So thank you for being here. Hopefully pretty soon, guys, we're going to be doing some collabs with How About Them Dogs podcast. So if you guys get a chance, go over there and like and subscribe. The guy's name's Randy. Super nice guy. Kind of has a softer tone than maybe my super loud and brash personality. But he has really quality content. Not that loudness makes for better content or worse content. But it's a nice change of pace from some of the stuff we see. I kind of like how he does things over there. So if you guys get a chance, go over to How About Them Dogs podcast and riz that guy up for a sub. Drinking some coffee today, black coffee, which I normally don't drink black coffee. I'm normally a cream and sugar kind of guy, like sweet coffee. Bill Shirley, good morning this morning. Cairo, Georgia. For those of you who don't know, it is not pronounced Cairo. It is pronounced Cairo. And this may surprise you, Bill, but I actually know that the name of your high school football team is the Cairo Syrup Makers. We've actually played them in football before. Good football team, or at least it used to be. What's up, Thomas T. Bone? Welcome to the house. Big Dog Brett welcomes you to the dog house. Speaking of dog house, I've been in one all week this week because of my Georgia Bulldogs. My goodness, come out there and have just played a terrible game. Terrible. Don't know what that was all about. Actually, I kind of do. We'll talk about that some more here in a minute too. But yeah. 48-7 last night. Who did y'all play? Who did you play? Guarantee I know who they are. Those of you who don't know, me and Bill's talking about high school football in Southwest Georgia. Such a delay. I have to wait for a response for him to hear what I asked and then for him to respond. So anyway, I do want to go over the Georgia game a little bit. I did do a driving home video. Leon County from Tallahassee, Florida. I do not know that one. Are you guys? You guys must be in the playoffs then. Tallahassee. Why are y'all playing a Florida team? What is that all about? That's weird. Cairo is a pretty good drive from Florida, at least an hour and some change. That's weird. All right. So we're gonna go through the Georgia. I've had all week to stew about this. I have been just too busy to be able to sit down and actually make a video. I have less time this year than I have ever had to make college football videos. The Georgia Alabama game really, really upset me. Everybody and their brothers talked about this game. So rather than talk about all of the bad things and the bad decisions the coaches made, the coaching staff made, where to run the ball 35 miles. Is it that close? Holy crap. That's closer than I thought for sure. Rather than talk about all of the bad decisions that Georgia made in this game, I want to try and, I guess, find a silver lining, because everybody's this is a Georgia fan is absolutely just not even infuriated, just absolutely disgusted. This was a game Georgia once again should have, could have won, but did not. The 2 touchdowns and the getting up a 2 touchdown lead was not good. And a big part of that is due to the fumble by going 3 and out didn't help us. We got the ball right out of the rip. We didn't get anything. I don't think it shows when it doesn't show when the fumble happened. But anyway, a lot of people thought that it was going to be Williams, and I was like Jeremy Bernard, and Alabama was like, no, we're going to throw it to an 800-pound lineman called Proctor, and just have him bulldoze through, which I thought was kind of tacky to see a team do it. And that was successful for him. Don't get me wrong, but I think anytime you're trying to do the jumbo package, that's a little tacky. So yeah, I'm gonna call it that. Any Alabama fan who says that Georgia didn't have an opportunity to win this game, they didn't watch the game. They just didn't. Georgia had a pretty good chance to win this game at several opportunities. We kicked the first field goal. We would have been tied that way when we got to the second time to kick the field goal. We'd have kicked that field goal. We'd have been up. We'd have won. Wide open pass dropped by Ty Taylor. I think he hit him in the hands. That wasn't good. Trying to run Cash Jones on 4th down and inches whenever you got a 6'3" quarterback who can quarterback sneak it, who has 4,000 yards rushing in high school. Those are a lot of the things that a lot of Georgia fans are talking about that they're not happy with. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't be happy with that either. We had 2 yards on our first possession last Saturday. Yeah, absolutely embarrassing. And to be honest with you, in the grand scheme of things, does this really hurt Georgia? The answer is no. Georgia can still win the rest of their games. Georgia can still go down the stretch. Georgia still get in the playoffs. And guys, it doesn't matter whether you're undefeated when you get to the playoffs or you've lost 2 games by the time you get to the playoffs. Because once you get to the playoffs, you have to go undefeated the rest of the way. There is no double elimination. So you just have to play it off. You have to play it out. Looking at everything that we saw in this game, Georgia shut Alabama out from scoring in the 3rd and 4th quarter. If Georgia scores any other point in this game, they walk away with a win. So Georgia certainly was just as competitive. You got to give hats off to Ty Simpson and the Tide, because they came into Athens and they dealt with the crowd noise. One point, it was 135 decibels. That's what they showed on the billboard. Most of the time, it was around 115, 120. But what you're going to see is a loud environment. First Road, he came out, did a great job. Hats off to those guys. Now, the silver lining of this is that Georgia certainly knows that they are good enough to compete with and beat this Alabama team. Alabama seems to have really turned a corner from week 1 when they lost to FSU. Excuse me. And a lot of people think FSU was a terrible team, and turned out to be they're a pretty good team. So I think a lot of people gleaned a little too much from the first game, myself included. So Alabama's done a great job. They have a lot of talented players. They were tackling in space properly, doing their job properly. I mean, just great effort by those guys coming there and fight. Especially with not being able to score in the fourth quarter and hang on. Man, that was gutsy on their half. That was gutsy on their behalf. So, score predictions. I'll get there. Don't you worry. I typically don't really get into the meat and potatoes till we're in about 15 minutes because that's about how long it takes for the YouTube algorithm to really kind of get things up and running so that people are surfing around, they see the notifications or whatever. So I try to give everybody a few minutes to get locked in. So yeah, odds are if Georgia continues to play at the level they're capable of playing at, and Alabama continues to play at the level they're playing at, Georgia and Alabama could see each other in the SEC championship. Now, Alabama does have a tough slate coming up. So here's what I'm going to show you guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Share screen. Alabama Tide football schedule. Nope, that's the Interstate. Here we go. Share. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. If you look on the left here, you can see that they've got Vanderbilt today. We're going to talk about that game. They've got Missouri. They've got Tennessee. Now, I've got that Tennessee game circled because if Georgia and Tennessee were super competitive and LSU and Tennessee were super competitive, Alabama, Georgia competitive, Georgia, Tennessee competitive, should be that Alabama and Tennessee are competitive. This is certainly a game they could lose. They could win this game. They could lose this game. I'm not sold on LSU. Oklahoma's looked pretty good. So it's really a matter here of currently Oklahoma's ranked number 5. And, I mean, it's certainly possible that Oklahoma, which, I mean, they've looked pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. These are all losable games. I don't know about I'm focusing on the Vanderbilt game. We'll talk about that some more today. But Vanderbilt has looked, I mean, pretty impressive. If we really want to talk about it, we're going to share their screen for Vanderbilt here real quick. All right, for those of you who don't keep up with Vanderbilt, which is not many, not many people keep up with Vanderbilt. What nobody's really talking about is the quality of this team. This reminds me of kind of the FSU thing where they hadn't played nobody, and then they play somebody and they're really good. That's what we're looking at here. They played Charleston Southern 45-3. Man, that sounds like a competitive SEC team beating on other team, and then you find out it's Vanderbilt, and you're like, Vanderbilt did that? Holy crap! And then they beat Virginia Tech 44-20, and Virginia Tech's a Power 4 opponent. They go in and they beat South Carolina 31-7 when South Carolina was ranked 11. Now, South Carolina's not, I would say, currently capable of being ranked 11. They're down a quarterback. And then the next week they come out and they hang 70 on Georgia State. Georgia State, not a good football team, but it's hard to hang 70 on anybody. I think the common expression this season is it's hard to hang 70 points on air, right? So if you can't get 70 points on air, what are you doing? What I mean by that is that if you can get 70 points on air, it's one thing, but then to turn around and do it against another opponent is another one. So Utah State, they put 55 on Utah State. I bet you if I go back 2 or 3 years, they have probably scored more points in this first 5 weeks of football than they have in some of their previous seasons. I mean, I bet you it wouldn't even be close. So, and I think a big component of that is Diego Pavia, right? So Diego Pavia has just been playing out of his mind. I'm going to go back to like 2019. Let's see what we look like. Yeah, okay. So 2019, they had several games where they scored. Let's see, against Tennessee 10, against Kentucky 14, against Florida 0, against South Carolina 7, against UNLV 10, against Ole Miss 6, against Georgia 6. So you can see how there's a completely different trend here. Vanderbilt's got a rough stretch coming up, but I promise you, they want to win this game in a big way. Alabama's coming off of a big win on Georgia, big emotional win. Same thing happened last year. Alabama came off a big emotional win. They go play Vanderbilt and they lose that game. And when you look at what's going on with Alabama, Alabama has looked, I won't say bad, but they looked bad in the FSU game. So when you watch that game against FSU, you went, who are these guys? Like, they only scored 17 points. The next week they bounced back and do 73-0 against UL Monroe. And then they come out and they beat Wisconsin handily, 38-14. And then they play Georgia, and Georgia was favored in that game, which is not a surprise. Georgia's favored in the game. They lose against Alabama, 21-24. Now, last year, if you go back to last year, very, very similar performance as far as they blew out Western Kentucky, they blew out South Florida, they blew out Wisconsin, and then Georgia was a one-score game there, 41-34. Then they go on and they play Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, which was a terrible stadium, under construction, all that. Jalen Milroe threw for 310 yards, and they won by 5 points. Vanderbilt won by 5 points. So when I look at this, I'm like, man, this looks very, very similar. Well, what's going on, everybody? Man, people jumping in the chat real quick. What's up, Porter? Jay Shipes. Yeah, T-Bone. What's going on, buddy? Y'all hit the like button. See, Porter's got the right idea. That guy has the right idea. You can trust and have faith and believe that Porter knows what he's talking about. Oh, my goodness. But let's actually look at Vanderbilt stats so that we get a better understanding of what we're looking at. Diego Pavia is at 1,200 yards on the season already. And if we look at Alabama Crimson Tide, this might surprise you. Diego Pavia currently has more yards than Ty Simpson. He has about 100 more yards. Vanderbilt's rushing attack, he has 294 yards in their rushing attack. Number one receiver for Alabama, number one running back is Kevin Riley at 150. So Diego Pavia is throwing at 75%. Ty Simpson's throwing at 70%. Now, you can make comments about which ones had a harder schedule and all that good stuff. And I would agree, Jay, Vandy did push Bama around a good bit last year. I'll see if I can. I wonder if there's a way. There's no way I can pull both of these up. I wish I could. And I think it only lets me share one screen at a time. But Vanderbilt, if you look at their game plan and how they go to market, right? How they actually play. I don't necessarily think strike lightning is the right term, 225 girl. I think that what you're looking at is it's like Alabama's built to stop Georgia, but this Vanderbilt team, the same one they played last year, is built to stop Alabama. Alabama is worse against the run this year than they were last year. And I don't know that Georgia had as much motivation in that game as Vanderbilt did. I don't think that Alabama spent 2 weeks preparing for Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt has been spending their time preparing for Alabama. And I think that may be the key difference. I think that whenever you're looking at that game right in front of you, you're like, okay, we got Vanderbilt after Georgia. Yeah, we lost to them last year, but we got to beat Georgia. We got to beat Georgia. So their defensive and offensive coaching efforts, I think, were focused on beating Georgia. And I think Vanderbilt's been focused on beating Alabama. Because they really haven't had a lot on their schedule. If we go back and look at their schedule, if you look at their schedule, you go, okay, Charleston, Southern Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Georgia State, Utah, Alabama. What do you think they've been practicing for all season? Alabama. And they're definitely not known for playing their best after they play Georgia. Something about Vandy versus Bama, huh? I think so. I think that what you're looking at right here is a team that has a running quarterback. I think Alabama struggled to stop the run. Georgia put up 225 plus yards on them in the running game. Somehow still lost the game. Georgia made some critical mistakes. Do I think Vanderbilt is as good as Georgia? Maybe. They might be. They might be. And by the way, against Utah State, Diego Pavia put up 321 in the air and 79 on the ground. The week prior, he put up 245 and 146. If we look at, let me find it real quick. If we look at, let me jump back a year. I'm going to jump back to 2024. They lost. Vanderbilt had just lost to Missouri the week prior to playing Alabama. Diego Pavia put up 252 yards through the air. And I don't know if they're going to be able to put up 252 through the air, but here's the thing I would point out to you. Jalen Milroe threw for 310, and that wasn't enough to beat Vanderbilt. It just wasn't. Vanderbilt only rushed for 64 yards. I completely expect that to change. I expect Vanderbilt to put way more yards on the ground than they did this particular outing. So when you look at that, what do I think? I think it's possible Vanderbilt wins this game. I do. Now, I also think it's possible that Alabama comes out, puts foot on gas, and just beats the life out of Vanderbilt. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, that's a good point, Jay. Georgia hasn't covered any spreads, and Vanderbilt has won by 3 touchdowns in every game. That is an actual fact among facts, sir. If we go to 2025, boom. This is probably the best. I'd have to go back and look. This is probably the best opening record Vanderbilt has had in probably 50 years. They won Charleston Southern by 42 points. They won by 24 against Virginia Tech. They won by 24 against South Carolina. They won by 49 against Georgia State, and they won by 20 against Utah. Yeah. So that's still 3 touchdowns for those who want to be nitpicky, because touchdowns are worth 6. PATs are worth 1. Now, in this game, Vanderbilt is favored. Vanderbilt's favored. No, they're not. They're not. If you look at this game, Alabama's favored by 12.5. That seems like a lot to me. That seems like a lot. If Alabama wins this game, I can easily see it being a 1-score game. So let's get rid of that. Who am I going to pick? I'm going to pick Vanderbilt just because I don't want Alabama to win. Who do I think is going to win? I don't know. Could be either one. But I'm gonna pull for Vanderbilt. Damn it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, not just because I want Vanderbilt to lose, but if Vanderbilt wins, can you imagine what the Alabama fans are going to do? They're going to come unglued. It's going to be bad. All right, so let's jump into some of the other parts here we want to talk about. Vanderbilt versus Alabama, score prediction. 27-24 Vanderbilt. That's what I'm going with. All right, let's look at let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Oh, good Lord. This is the most exciting season in recent college football history. I would agree. This weekend is the most exciting weekend since at least last weekend. Great slate of games today. I'm going to actually share my screen on this so you guys don't have to just stare at my fuzzy mug. All right, here we go. Boom. Get it? Yeah, success. Georgia versus Kentucky coming up noon game. Georgia coming off of a loss, likely going to be angry. This is played at Athens. I don't expect this stadium to even be half full. Number one, it's a noon game. Number two, fans are really, really irritated and really upset about what happened in the Alabama game. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Georgia fans showed up, showed out. Team let us down on the field. Not the team. Coaching staff let us down on the field. Except for Nate Frazier, sir. What are you doing? Learn ball control. Tired of watching you fumble the ball. It's unacceptable, especially in key moments. Yeah, so there's that. So Georgia should win this game by, I would say 10 points. But for what, and this is, by the way, this is about the worst football team that I think Kentucky has had in a long time. I don't even know what they're doing up there. Cutter Boulay or Booley or Boogaloo Louie, whatever you want to call him, Baba Louie. His completion percentage is 54%. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 7 sacks. If Georgia don't get at least 2 damn sacks in this game, then you should fire Glenn Schumann today. Today, not tomorrow, not tonight, today, during the game if necessary. Everybody's been focused on Mike Bobo. Yes, Mike Bobo is not the greatest coach of all time, but he is a good offensive coordinator. If you got a better offensive coordinator in mind that you think would fit what Georgia tries to do, you let me know, because I don't believe he exists. Don't say Todd Monken. Todd Monken lost. He only won 1 game out of 3 he played against Alabama, so I don't want to hear that. Our offense looked way more explosive under him, but we also had Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. Yeah, so Bobby Sprinkles. 1937, Vandy and Alabama. Vandy went and Alabama had 0 loss. Bama put Vandy away 9-7. I believe that was before the forward pass was legal or before the telegraph was invented as well. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that. I'm not even sure that Alabama was a state. That's been so long ago. I'm joking, of course. This could define how our season will be going forward. Dollars to take the hurt out on Kentucky fans. On Kentucky fans still upset. Don't expect a lot of them. I don't expect fans to fill that stadium up at all. I expect that whenever fans show up today, they're going to be just like ho-hum, whatever, something to do. It's like going and watching a movie, something to do. I don't for 1 second think that that we should be. Let me see if I can move this. There we go. Hey, what do you know? I can move stuff around. Save that. Yeah, whatever. What is it doing? Trying to do something here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It didn't work though. Anyway, looking at what should happen in this game, Georgia should win this game handily. What I am going to warn every single person: don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Like the young man at the game, hand on the Bible. Swear to God, and I have witnesses. This guy come up, it wasn't even halftime yet. He was losing his mind. He was probably every bit of 25 years old, and he had bet $1,000 on Georgia to win that game. Brother, I love your faith and your passion and your belief, but $1,000 is a lot of money. I wouldn't have bet $1,000 on the dogs. I wouldn't have bet $50 on the dogs last weekend, and I was just as nervous as anybody could be. Oh, shameless plug. If you're watching this, go ahead and hit like, subscribe. You're obviously a college football junkie. We cover college football here. We want to see you back. We want to get your comments down in the comment section. You guys are what helps build the channel and keeps me motivated to come back and making videos regardless of how busy my schedule gets. Now, if you really want to support the channel, you can go buy a t-shirt. There's a t-shirt I have down there that's like my favorite football coach is a baseball coach. It's not really a shirt I'm trying to sell. It's just a shirt that I made just to poke fun. The graphics aren't perfect. It's all messed up because it's a joke. There are BDB shirts down there. If you guys want to buy one of those, that would be great. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can also become a member. I think the low end, that's like $1.99 a month. Because YouTube ads don't pay anything anymore. I can get 100,000 views in a month, and I might get $20. If you guys want to do super chats, there's super chats available. You guys can super chat the show. Super stickers also work. So if you want to leave a comment later on and you leave a super sticker, which is kind of like a tip, that also supports the channel. So it also allows me to tell my wife, hey, I'm getting paid to do this. So she lets me do it. Not that she wouldn't, but yeah, it always helps when you say, I'm making money. Also, Appreciate you guys being here. We want to try and get to 15 members by the end of the season, and if a couple of bucks, if you can spare it, I'm gonna rattle my tin can. Alms for the poor. That'd be great. If not, stick around. We got more college football content for you. Okay. Let's talk about the upcoming lineup. I think Georgia wins this game by. What's up, Jeremy? I think Georgia wins this game by 10. I wouldn't bet on Georgia to score over 18 points over Kentucky today. I just wouldn't. And I'll be honest with you. If Georgia comes out and hangs 50 on Kentucky and shuts them out, all I'm going to say is, why in the hell didn't y'all play like that last week? I'm just telling you. There's no circumstance here where this win is something I'm going to go, man, that looked really good. Not going to do that because, unfortunately, Georgia has put themselves in a position of whether it is either, why didn't we do this last week, or we really should be playing better football than this at this point. Yeah, I know we won, but we only won by like 7, and it's Kentucky, and they suck. Or how in the hell did we lose to Kentucky? I mean, that's your 3 options. That's your 3 options. Unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. Now, as a Georgia fan, got to put a little pump the brakes a little bit, because Georgia has an opportunity here right now to bounce back. Even if it's 51-10, Jeremy, I'm going to be like, where was this offensive performance last week against Alabama? Why did we make the poor coaching decisions we made in the big games? And that 100%, not saying that he's this guy, but that 100% reminds me of Mark Richt. Can't win the big games. Look good in all the other ones. Can't win the big games. Now, am I one of those fire Kirby guys? Hell no, I'm not one of those fire Kirby guys. You're crazy. Do I think we should fire Mike Bobo? No. But I do think somebody needs to go down there and jerk his collar around a little bit and be like, hey, don't do that. Need to do some of that. Do I think Glenn Schumann needs to be fired? Yes. Fire his ass now. Now, I also think that you need to get somebody like Sam Pittman back in the mix to get that line sorted out. There's absolutely no reason why we can run the ball as well as we can, right? We can run the ball, right? But we can't do pass pro. What? If you can stop them from getting to the running back and you can create a hole, that means you're getting pushed. Why can't you pick up a blitz? Why are we not running a quarterback sneak? We have one of the greatest running quarterbacks we've ever had, and nobody knows it. We're not hiding it. We suck at doing that for some reason. First couple of games we ran quarterback designs that looked great. Ain't run them. Hey, by the way, we have several 4- and 5-star tight ends. Hadn't thrown them the ball. Instead, we're going to throw the deep shot to Todd Taylor, who's never caught a live ball in his life, in the biggest game of his life, in the most hostile environment that he'll probably ever see at a critical moment in the game. Let's do that. No, that's dumb. Now, you might say, well, Brett, but you're not a coach. You've never coached. You can do this, that, and the other. You're right. I'm also not a math professor, but damn, I know what 2 + 2 equals. And if somebody tells me 2 + 2 is 5, I'm like, no, that's not right. Now, I don't have the same degree as Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory on theoretical mathematics, but I know that 2 + 2 is 4 and 2 times 2 is 4. Both can be true at the same time. But apparently, Glenn Schumann doesn't know how to work a defense, and Mike Bobo makes some of the most ridiculous offensive calls at times I've ever seen. And Kirby's also guilty of that. He's not free of blame. Oh, where's Zachariah Branch? Where's Colby Young? And where's my boy Thomas, Noah Thomas? All these guys are outstanding receivers. We brought them in for a reason. Right with your damn ball. Simple as that. That's all you got to do is throw it down there. I heard Zion Branch's name. Yeah. And not only that, and I don't know if part of this is Gunnar Stockton, which is possible. His first year as a starter, got to give him a little bit of leeway. But there were several times where Zachariah Branch was on a freaking go route and was wide the hell open if we could have pass pro'd long enough. Now, since we're also talking about that stuff, I got to kick Glenn Schumann's door down and be like, hey, dude, you need to do the honorable thing here and tell everybody you got a brain tumor like Urban Meyer, so you don't, go take a break and let somebody else have this job, because you're clearly in over your head, sir, and not by a little bit, by a lot of bit. This is about the worst Georgia defense that we've seen in the first half of games ever. First half of games, this is terrible. It's not that he didn't see him, Porter. He didn't see it. No, he didn't have time, because to throw a ball that deep, you've got to step into it. And if you go back, I know that on the play I'm talking about, if you go back and look, yeah, he's got Zachariah Branch on a go route, but he ends up having to throw the check down because he doesn't have enough time to take that big step forward and heave that ball downfield. Now, when he had time, he hit Ty Taylor basically right in the hands. Basically right in the hands. Ty Taylor dropped it. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind over here. Clicking buttons I don't need to click. Good Lord. Made me crash out, man. Made me crash out. Yeah, Dan Lanning was absolutely elite. He's never going to come back to being offensive coordinator. He's doing a hell of a job out at Oregon, and he should stay out there. I'm not saying stay out there. He should stay as a head coach wherever he goes, because he's proven he can do the job. Muschamp, I wish we hadn't lost him. He was a great defensive mind. I think Glenn Schumann will probably be fired after this year. Kirby doesn't like to fire people. He's too much of a too loyal guy, and that bothers me a lot. So yeah, sometimes you just got to cut people. It just is what it is. All right, geez, long-winded, talking too much. Georgia should win this by 10 points. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Moving down the schedule with Joel. Florida versus Texas. Man, if this isn't the fight of the blind dummies, oh my goodness. So when you're looking at this game here, hold on, get what the hell? Act right. I need to change this to that so we can see a little better. A little bit bigger. They're giving Florida a 25% chance. I think that's too low. DJ Lagway is a trash can with arms. Okay. Arch Manning is a porta-john with arms. Both of these quarterbacks are absolutely freaking terrible. But somehow, in my mind, I genuinely believe that DJ Lagway is better. Somehow, I don't know why I think that, but after watching Arch Manning play, he looks like a scared puppy in traffic, dude. He looks terrible. I'm picking Florida to win this game just because I have zero faith in Arch Manning. I mean, just none. I'm going to pull up stats on the other screens here so I can look at it. This guy's at a 61 completion percentage. DJ Lagway's at 62. Arch Manning, what's his yards? How many yards he got? 888. DJ Lagway, 690. Arch Manning has a 56.5 QBR rating. DJ Lagway has a 48. This is a battle of what the hell is going on. Florida has a better rushing game, in my opinion. This, if you are a Texas fan, this can't be what you signed up for. I 1,000% believe that the only reason that Arch Manning is playing still is because Eli and Peyton have Brent Venables by the short and curlies and making him do this. And I think the donors are making him do this because of the name. That's all I can come up with, because there ain't no reason that either one of these quarterbacks should be playing. Now, I think Billy Napier has a side bet going how bad he can get his team to play and still be kept at Florida, because Florida's looked like trash. They've looked bad. They're 1-3. They've lost to South Florida. They've lost to LSU, and they've lost to Miami. They have a decent defense, but their offense is non-existent. The question is can Texas do anything? I get that they're ranked 9th, and I don't care. They played San Jose State. They played UTEP. They played Sam Houston. They played literally a bunch of nobodies. And if you go back and you look at these games, I mean, they're all let me go over here. I'm pulling this up right now. Arch Manning bothers me so bad, I don't even want to look at his picture. Arch Manning threw for 79% against Sam Houston. He threw for his QBR was 30 against UTEP. 30 against UTEP. I'm going to tell you right now, this will be the best defense that they've played, except maybe LSU. I mean, excuse me. Where's it at? Come on. Jeez. Pay all this money for dial-up internet, and this is what I get. This will be the best defense they played maybe since Ohio State, and that was week 1, so you didn't really know what you were getting. But I mean, it opened at 6.5 points. It's down to 5.5. So basically, Texas has got to score a touchdown, got to win by a touchdown or more. I would take Florida to win this outright. I just don't see any way. I don't see any way. Now, granted, they are playing in Florida. They're playing in a swamp. Is Florida man going to show up? What's Alex MLD? Hey, this guy right here, I just looked it up the other day. He's been a member for like 48 months. Something crazy like that. Dude, I need to send you a hat or send me your, you've got my email address. It's bigdogbrad18@gmail. Shoot me so your information, and I want to send you something, sir, for being a loyal member. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see here. What's up, Pastor Dave? Looking at this game, guys, I'm going to pick Florida. I'm going to pick Florida. It's in the swamp. I think this is one of the biggest games Florida has played in a long, long time. I can't remember the last time they played. Texas. Maybe it was last year. I don't remember. Because I don't really keep up Florida's schedule. Probably was last year, as I think the schedules are exactly the same, just flipped. Did they play last year? Am I on crack? Yeah, they played last year. They lost last year, 49-17, but they had Quinn Ewers. So yeah. But they didn't play in Florida. So yeah. Pick a Florida and win this game. It's almost like I'm picking a bunch of upsets today, isn't it? All right, let's go back to whoa, got a message. I can't read that right now. Give me a second. All right. So that is the Texas-Florida game. We already talked a little bit about Vanderbilt. I'm going to pick Vanderbilt in that game too. Picking Vanderbilt. Oh, Lord. My daughter got a tooth pulled out day before yesterday. And when they numbed her up, she bit her cheek a little bit, so she's got a sore in her mouth right now. So my wife was sending me a picture of that. Oh, Alabama, Vanderbilt. I'm going to be watching this game. You're going to be watching this game. Don't lie. We're going to be flipping back and forth between Texas, Florida, and Alabama, Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt wins this game. I think they're between the pass and the running attack with Diego Pavia. Alabama's going to struggle. Now, of course, Alabama might come out and win by 30, but who knows? I do wish they would move the SEC headquarters out of Alabama. I think that would help a lot of other teams. But yeah, so all right, then we're going to jump down to the 7:30 games. Ohio State versus Minnesota. That's going to be a blowout. Nobody's going to watch that ticket. Florida State versus Miami. We're going to loop back to that. We're going to come down here and hit Texas A&M, Mississippi State first, real quick. Gators being Texas would hush a lot of you fans. Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. The number 11 needs some snaps, brother. No, he needs to get a new jersey number. That number's cursed. I think Florida gets the upset too, sir. Texas A&M versus Mississippi State. Man, these teams, man. I don't think Mississippi State is getting the credit they deserve. They lost a tight one with Tennessee. Could have won that game. They blew out Northern Illinois. They blew out Alcorn. They beat Arizona State, which was ranked number 12 at the time. And somehow Mississippi State's not ranked anymore. Don't understand. They beat Southern Miss their season opener 30. They doubled up on them 34-17, and they play Texas A&M today. Now they still have a brutal schedule. Now they'll get through this game. They beat Texas A&M. They still got to play Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, which Arkansas ain't no problem. Georgia, Missouri, and Ole Miss. These are all tough games for Mississippi State. If Mississippi State makes it through that gauntlet, they will probably be number one in the SEC just because they'll only have one loss. Ole Miss has got to win out. Missouri's got to win out. Vanderbilt's got to win out. Oklahoma's got to win out. Texas A&M. All those teams are undefeated right now. So this right here, if they lose this game, this will drop them pretty far down in the mix. Same thing happened if Alabama happens to Alabama. Same thing would happen to Georgia. It'd be 2 losses. You got to get through these games. I think Texas A&M should win this game. Their offenses look really good. They struggled last week against Notre Dame, but they still pulled it out. It really looks like they're kind of playing to their competition. They beat Notre Dame 41-40. They beat Auburn 16-10. So I don't know what we're going to get here. I really don't know what we're going to get. I'm going to pick Mississippi State. Mississippi State as offense has been rocking and rolling. I'm going to pick Mississippi State. Upset Saturday. Georgia got to win out 100%. All right, looking at Florida State versus Miami. All right, let's get into it. We're talking about a team. Where's that? Here, I'm keep it on the screen for you guys so you guys can watch. They're saying FSU's got a 34% chance to win this game. I think they got a little better. And I'll explain why here in just a minute. They lost to the University of Virginia last week, 46-38, double overtime. They beat Alabama 31-7. They beat ETAM 77-3. They beat Kent 66-10. Played UVA. Got a little bit away from them, but they lost that game. Could have won it, could have lost it. I think Miami might have a better defense, but I think Florida State might have a better offense. And I think Florida State still got a really good defense. I think that Florida State can outscore Miami. That's what I think. They beat Notre Dame by 3. They blew out BCU. They blew out USF. And they beat Miami. They beat Florida 26-7. If Florida State's defense is comparable, to Florida's, let me back up. If Florida State's defense can play as well as Florida's defense, that's better. Then I don't see Miami getting more than 26 points. Do I feel like Miami can stop Florida State from scoring 26 points? I don't. I feel like they're going to score in the 30s. Excuse me. Need some more coffee. And I'm going to show you why. So if we look at, where is my mouse? Jeez. If we look at Florida State. So you come in and you look at their stats, right? Stats. And I pay for dial-up. What's the problem here? Tony Cassiano is their second leading rusher, and he's only down by 17 yards. They got a good running back. They're running Gavin Sawchuk and Tony Cassiano. I keep want to call him Tony Cassiano like he's an Italian mobster or something. Him and Chroma, all three of these guys are kind of like a three-headed monster. If you look over here, they're all averaging about anywhere from 5.5 to 6 yards a carry. I mean, and Sawchuk's got 6 touchdowns. Tony Cassiano's got 4. They run him in the red zone. Is Miami going to be able to pick that up? I don't think so. I think Miami's going to be able to stop them at times, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. And when you got a quarterback who's throwing for 65%, which is a pretty decent percentage, and that is in the face of throwing 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's still throwing 65%. Now, we got to jump over here and we're going to talk about Carson Feck. By the way, here recently he's backtracking and he said, he didn't want to leave Georgia. Well, then why'd you go talk so much smack about Georgia after you did, sir? That's what I want to know. Anyway, get off that soapbox. Jump on the stats. Carson Beck, guess what? Same thing we've seen out of him in the past. 7 touchdowns. That's really good. 3 interceptions. I think that this is going to be a game where he throws at least 1, if not 2 interceptions. Keep in mind, the quarterback for Vanderbilt, the quarterback for Alabama, and the quarterback for Georgia all have more passing yards than Carson Beck. Just thought you should know. And that's with Georgia having the running game attack that it has. When it comes to rushing the ball, they're at 712 yards, 722 yards. You break that across 5 games, it's like 540 yards a game, they're about. It's not super impressive. Averaging 4.8 a carry is okay. But this is kind of where they're living. They're trying to live on that receiving core. Malachi Toney, CJ Daniels, and Kalen Marone. Those are their go-to guys. I just don't feel like that they're going to be able to keep up. I could be wrong, been wrong before, but I don't feel like they're going to be able to keep up. I just don't. How will Gus? Gus is going to tear that up, man. That's the way it's going to go. I'm not going to lie. I would have thought he would have had more by now. Cam last week, by week 6, was over 2,000 yards. Yep. Let's drop back to this. Whoa, that's terrible. That's not much better. That's even worse. So here's what I'm looking at. I don't see if you're getting your betting advice from me, don't do that because I'm terrible. I get it wrong every week, dude. I get it wrong every week. But I think Gunnar Stockton right now, let's see here. Let me go to stats. So Gunnar Stockton on the season right now is 851 yards. So I misspoke whenever I said that he had more Carson Beck. Carson Beck's at 972. Gunnar Stockton is at 851. So Gunnar Stockton is at 70% completion percentage. Carson Beck's at 73. Carson Beck has 7 touchdowns. He wishes he had 71. 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Gunnar Stockton has 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So if you're asking me what I'm going to take the guy that can run the ball. By the way, Carson that doesn't give me interceptions. Carson Beck has 10 run attempts for 20 yards. Gunnar Stockton has 11 carries for 63 yards. Oh, excuse me. This year he's got 33 carries for 146 yards. So overall yards, he is above and beyond Carson Beck. He's close to 1,000 yards. Carson Beck is right there the same for total yards, right at about 1,000 yards. So they're pretty evenly matched. But I'll take the not 3 interceptions guy. Give me that guy. So good slate of games today. We'll probably do some live shows here and there. Make sure you guys stay tuned for all of that. Let me go back to the schedule and make sure I didn't miss anything. Make sure there isn't a game I'm missing. BYU beat West Virginia last night. Got all my Halloween decorations set up. So done with that for the season. Georgia noon game. Everybody's going to be watching a noon game because there's nothing else on until 3:30. Penn State, UCLA. Penn State's going to beat the fire out of UCLA. Florida, Texas will be good. Georgia, Vandy be good. Virginia, Louisville. And kind of interesting to see how they do in that game. Let's see who else. Oklahoma, Kent State. That's a blowout. Ohio State, Minnesota, blowout. Florida, Miami, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Those are your games for today. Also, I'll be watching TCU beat the hell out of Colorado just because I'm sick and tired of Deion Sanders. I will never, ever forgive that guy until he issues a personal apology to the way he talked to all those players when he came out there, because he acted like he was going to go 1,000-0. And let's see here. Yes, Michael, there is a chance, but it won't be until after my son's football season's over. So let me see. Let me check something real quick while I got you here. Deion Sanders' first year at Colorado was the 2023 season. So I want to pull up. Let's go to schedules because that'd just be the easiest thing to do. Ben Schumann sucks. Can't get past Rush. Only the parents in the chat will know that song. Only the parents will know that song. Okay, so he's 2-3 right now. So his first year was 2023. Let's go back to 2022. Let's see what we got. They took 5 L's right out of the gate in 2022. They only won 1 game that year. Let's go back to 2021. 2021, they were 1-4 at this time in 2021. Let's go back to 2020. That was COVID year. They won their first 4 COVID. 2019. Yes, that's what it was. Guess what the record was in 2019, guys? Anybody want to guess? This time, same season. Give you guys a second to guess because of the delay. If you guessed 3-2, you're right. They had a bet at this time in the same season. They had a better winning record than what they have right now. So tell me, Deion, how we doing? He's finna lose another one, and then you're gonna lose another one. So then you will be 2-4. 2-4. 2-4. No, I'm not tailgating. Not doing great this year. Not doing great. Doing good. Not great. Why is it that every time I'm just about to get off the live stream, like the viewership picks up? It's terrible. What's up, Brock? I don't blame you. There ain't nothing else to watch, but nothing they're going to do is going to impress me. If they sack them 8 times in the first quarter, I will not be impressed. The only thing I will say is, why didn't we do that last week? That's what I will say. It's a matter of time before he leaves Colorado. They know it, but they are benefiting from the notoriety he's bringing him. They're not really benefiting. In my personal opinion, I feel like he's damaged whatever culture they had before. He's turned it into a media circus. Hang on a second. So I'm going to share my screen here just because that's who I am. Because as they say, I keep receipts. I keep receipts, sir.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis.
I'm bringing my luggage with me, and it's Louis. That's what he says, referring to Louis Vuitton, meaning it's premium luggage.
Okay.
I'm coming.
It ain't going to be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming.
Okay. Now, I know it's hard to see, but down here in the corner, there's a little scooter thing right here in the corner. See that scooter thing? That is for a player whose leg is all jacked up because he got injured playing football.
When I get here, it's gonna be changed.
When I get here, it's gonna be changed.
So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal.
Get ready to go ahead and jump in the portal
and do whatever you're gonna get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make.
Now he said, whenever you jump in,
The more room you make. Because we bring kids that are smart. Say that: smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. One more time: smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. That's the ones we're going to get. Is that you? Yes, sir. Is that you? Yes, sir. We got a few positions already.
So here's my thing, man. Don't know none of them kids. He don't know anything about them. He's already planned to replace them, and he's in there talking smack to him. Kid over there, busted leg, done committed all he can to this team. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it. Jeremy says, we will beat Bama if we play them again this year. We are undefeated when we play them team a second time around. That I agree that we are, but that sounds like a lot of cope, man. And I'm just out of copium. I'm all out of copium. You just got to do it. Got to do it. To be fair, Nick did the same thing at Bama. To be fair, Nick Saban is the greatest football coach of all time. So there's that. And by the time that Nick Saban was in his third year, you tell me what Nick Saban was doing, because it wasn't starting the season 2 and 3. If you're going to talk a big game, got to be able to back it up, my guy. But we're talking about young men's life. We're talking about their futures. We're talking about families that have poured in countless hours of taking these kids to football practice, taking these kids to games, buying them gear, helping them, supporting them through injury and sickness, helping them navigate schoolwork with football being played all at the same time. And some of these parents have moved across the country so that their kids can go to football camps and go to special schools, go to all this stuff so that they can attend these colleges and they commit to them and say, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, man. Oh, 100% will be crying when he leaves. No doubt. I'll be the first one. I'll be handing out tissues. But yeah. Well, guys, we're rocking on here about an hour. Appreciate all you guys being here. Here's a good opportunity for you guys to like, subscribe, and share the channel and the show. If you're not a member, but you're hanging around, what's wrong with you? Subscribe. It's free. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member. You can leave a super chat. You can leave a super sticker, because I like stickers. I got one in the first grade one time. I still have it. Yeah, so there's that. Appreciate all you guys being here. We're going to go ahead and jump out now. We're going to get some stuff knocked out here around the house. Maybe I'll fire up the Blackstone and make myself an omelet. I don't know. Appreciate all you guys being here. Have a great day, guys. See you soon. God bless. Go Dogs.